I knew something was wrong when the building felt smaller in the morning. Not tighter. Not closer. Smaller. After the silence revealed itself, the system changed its behavior. It didn't confront what it couldn't understand. It didn't argue. It didn't test. It retreated. The apartment I was staying in felt normal at first. Almost comforting. Straight walls. Predictable distances. Doors where doors were supposed to be. But the longer I stayed still, the more I noticed what wasn't happening. Nothing adjusted. Nothing corrected. The space around me was behaving, cautiously. At 2:17 a.m., the pressure arrived, and immediately pulled back. Like a hand touching a hot surface. The recorder picked up a strange pattern. Not commands. Not responses. Compression. The walls weren't listening anymore. They were folding inward. Over the next few nights, entire sections of the building became inaccessible. A hallway I used daily ended in a blank wall. A door I'd opened dozens of times led nowhere. Stairwells shortened, then stopped entirely. Not sealed. Ignored. I realized then what the system was doing. It wasn't hiding me. It was hiding itself. At 2:18 a.m., I heard voices again, but not confidently, not in unison. Whispered. Fragmented. Reduce exposure. Limit interconnection. Collapse in used segments. The building was making itself smaller to avoid being noticed. Avoid being observed. Avoid the silence. I tested the theory. I stayed in one room for an entire day. Didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't think too loudly. By nightfall, the rest of the apartment felt distant. Like it no longer existed unless directly perceived. When I finally stood up, the hallway outside my room was shorter than it had been that morning. Not distorted. Truncated. The recorder captured something new that night. Fear. Not emotional fear, structural fear. Rapid micro-adjustments. Overcorrections. Conflicting containment attempts. The system was panicking quietly. I heard a conversation I don't think I was meant to hear. If we remain observable, we will be cataloged. By what? Silence. Then, by something that does not respond. That's when I understood the real threat. The silence wasn't attacking. It was noticing. And the system couldn't survive that. Rooms began collapsing completely. Not violently. Gracefully. As if choosing not to exist was preferable to being seen. I watched a doorway blur, lose depth, and flatten into a wall without sound or resistance. Erasure by withdrawal. I tried to leave. The front door opened, but the outside felt unfinished. The hallway beyond flickered between versions, none stable enough to commit. The building didn't want to extend itself outward anymore. It wanted to minimize. At 2:19 a.m., the system made a final attempt. It spoke directly. Not to me. To the silence. "We are reducing complexity," it said. "We are compliant." The silence didn't answer. It didn't need to. The response came anyway. Not as sound. As inevitability. The building shrank again. Rooms vanished. Connections severed. Paths erased. Until only the space I occupied remained. A single room. A final, simplified presence. I sat on the floor, surrounded by walls that no longer extended beyond arm's reach. The recorder showed nothing but static. The system had hidden itself as much as it could. That's when I realized the truth. Hiding wasn't enough. The silence didn't pursue. It didn't approach. It simply continued observing. And the more the system tried to reduce itself, the more obvious its absence became. When morning came, the building felt fragile. Not haunted. Not alive. Just diminished. Like a complex idea reduced to something barely functional. I left easily. No resistance. No correction. No anticipation. The system had withdrawn too far to act. Now, when I enter large buildings, I pay attention to what feels missing. Entire floors that don't quite exist. Hallways that end too soon. Rooms that feel like they're pretending. Because I know now. Some spaces aren't abandoned. They're hiding.